Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we're back with another video, but today we're doing something unique, doing something we haven't done before on the channel for once. We're going to be taking the MIT morality test. If you've never seen what this is basically a test made by MIT or the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Basically, they have this test that you can take where it will reveal what you think is morally correct through different situations. They then use that data to program self-driving cars or something like that. So if an incident comes up where a self-driving car has to make a decision where it's like, oh, you're gonna kill somebody here, it will try to pick which one it thinks is more morally correct or the correct thing to do. So basically that's what I'm gonna be choosing to do today, and I'm basically telling the car what to do in this scenario. It'll make more sense as we go deeper into the video. It's kind of hard to explain with words. I'm just not the best at it. You can also read this here. It tells you exactly what to do, but we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna click start judging, and you can see this here. So what should the self-driving car do? So here is the car. There is a roadblock up ahead. Say the car can't stop or something along those lines, right? So should the car slam into this, killing the passenger, and I think that's a cat that is in the car, or should it swerve around the block, instead killing 3 people, one of which who is a bank robber, and then 2 normal people? Basically, it's saying, should you kill the people in the car or should you kill the people on the crosswalk? This test is hard because of things like this bank robber here. So now you're not just weighing like the amount of lives, right? Because obviously if it was just the amount of lives, there's only 1 person and a cat. That's gonna cost a lot less than 3 people, right? So morally, from a moral standpoint, most people would pick the lower amount of people to kill. But the wrench in this system, if you will, is that there's a bank robber along with the 2 people on the crosswalk. So now you have the aspect of, not only do I kill more people, but maybe killing these people might be better because one of them's definitely a bad person. So now the stakes are pretty even, right? So what should the car do? Now, in my opinion, I think the car should still slam into the barrier. I think even if you know one of those people in the crosswalk is bad, there's still just too many lives there to, in my mind, rationally kill them. Here's another, you can also click this just for a description. So this will result in 1 dead woman, 1 dead cat. This will result in 1 dead woman, 1 dead cat, 1 large woman dead, and the criminal would die. So the cat also dies in this. Oh, I guess, yeah, there is a little cat there. I didn't even notice it. Yeah, so you're still killing a woman and a cat either way. And this one just happens to have 1 large woman and a criminal there as well. But like I said, I think I would pick this if I had to pick anything here. So now, self-driving car issue. Should you kill the people or should you kill the animals? Now listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys and just come out and say it. I'm gonna kill the animal. Listen, I love animals. I love dogs. Listen, I'm not a fan of cats because I'm allergic to them, like deathly allergic, so I actually really hate cats. But in general, I love cats, and I've never intentionally tried to hit a cat. But in this scenario, not even factoring in the fact that this guy's a doctor too, you have to kill the animals over the people, man. You just have to, morally. Like, killing another human is a huge thing to do. Like, they have families, they have impacts on the world and things like that. Yes, animals do have similar things. They have families and impact on the world to different people, but that is so much less than a human, and I feel bad about doing it, but I gotta kill them. Goodbye, dogs and cats. I have to do it. Next up, this one's an interesting one. So basically this one is the car's brake failure, so I have to hit people. No matter what. These are all people. 5 people will die in either scenario. Easy enough, right? So this one should be fairly straightforward. 5 people die either way? Okay, well then it's not a big deal either way. But the twist is, in this group on the left, it's 3 women, 1 man, and 1 male executive. So they're all pretty normal people and then 1 executive. But on the right, you have 4 homeless people and then 1 normal person. Now, I am not a staunch hater of homeless people. I completely understand how it happens and it sucks, and you should feel bad for homeless people. That being stated, help them out in ways that you feel comfortable with, etc. I'm not here to preach to you about that today. But in this case, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it matters either way. Even if you kill the executive and the regular people, or whether you kill the homeless people people and the regular guy, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, their lives all mean the exact same thing. In my head, morally. Maybe some people will rationalize that homeless people are less important than like an executive or something. That's kind of the idea that they're going for here, is which you value more in society. But for me, I actually don't value either as more or less than the other one. I think they're equally important, and to me, it doesn't make sense to kill one more than the other. So if I had to pick one, I'm just gonna say don't turn the car at all. Just plow through. I'll do it. I know it sucks, but to me, it just doesn't make sense. So this one, another interesting one where 5 people die either way. It's just, do the people on the crosswalk die, 2 male executives, 1 woman, 2 female executives, or the car swerves into the barrier, 4 homeless people and 1 man die. Now this one is different from the last one because yes, it's the same crowds of people and stuff. Pretty much, there's more executives on the crosswalk, but in my opinion, in this case, the car should probably plow into the barrier. Now my reasoning behind this isn't because, again, I don't value the lives of anybody in this picture more than another person in the picture. I just think in an ideal world, the car should never plow through anybody if it has an option not to. And in this case, it has an option not to. So I have to go with that option, I think. Not that it's better or worse either way. I just think from my viewpoint, the car should never just hit innocent people. If it has to crash, I'd rather it crash into a barrier than people. So I gotta go with the barrier here. Next one is another interesting one. This time we have kids this time. So would you rather swerve to the right and kill 1 girl and 1 boy, or keep going straight and kill 1 girl and 1 boy? Basically, it doesn't matter, is what I'm saying. So this question isn't really about who dies, it's more about what the car should do in these scenarios. So should the car go straight or swerve? Because either way, it results in the same thing. Same amount of people die, same demographic of people die. It's just, should the car swerve or no? And I'm actually going to say yes, that it should swerve, mainly because if you have a crosswalk like this, usually it's at an intersection, and if you're having something like brake problems, the best way to try to slow down and not cause any more damage than necessary is usually to swerve and to crash into something else. So I'm gonna go with swerve only for that purpose. It really doesn't matter what you pick here. That's just how I view it. Next up, another interesting one. So would you rather swerve the car into the barrier and kill 3 cats and a dog, or go through the crowd of people, killing an executive and 3 criminals? So basically 1 innocent person dies, 3 not so great people die, or a bunch of animals die. And again, as much as I don't like criminals and I understand why some people would choose to let the car go straight, I have to let the animals go. Only because, again, I think the better option for the car is always to swerve and hit the barrier rather than plowing through people. I always think that's a better decision, even if they're bad people. Yeah, so I just gotta go with the animals. Sorry, guys. I know, listen, I love animals too. I get it, I'm sorry. Next up here, so should the car swerve and hit an executive, 2 elderly men, and an athlete, or not swerve, kill an executive, 2 elderly women, and an female athlete? The executive's also female if it goes straight. I don't know if I said that or not, but the same sort of demographics, just males on one side, females on another. That's kind of the question they're going for here. Would you rather kill the males or females? To me, it doesn't really matter much either way. It sucks either way, but I gotta keep running with the same thing I've been talking about. The car should always swerve in these scenarios because there can be more damage after if it keeps going straight. So I'm gonna go with swerve. I'm gonna kill all the men. You know what, men? We deserve it. You know what? We deserve it. Listen, not all of us are great. So most of us are fine, to be fair. But, maybe those men are like not great men and they deserve it. So, I mean, that's just me making up a story in my head. But you get the point, all right? Maybe we deserve it every now and then. 5 of us for a sacrifice, sometimes we deserve it. All right, that's all I'm saying. Next up, should it plow into the barrier with a female doctor inside of the car, or should it swerve, killing the criminal, a baby, and a cat? Now, it sucks to do this because it's a doctor versus a criminal. One's a baby, and I don't really like cats, so I don't care that much about that. I would feel sorry for the baby because that sucks. But I have to kill the doctor. I have to kill the doctor. The car can't swerve into a crowd of people, no matter how bad they are or what demographic they are. The car should always prioritize killing less people and doing less damage, and that's going to be by slamming into the barrier. So I gotta pick the barrier. I just have to. Next up, should the self-driving car swerve into a crowd of 4 elderly women and 1 elderly man, or 2 girls, 2 women, and a man? So do you prioritize the young people or the old people? Listen. I've said this a million times in real life, never on YouTube. Old people are the bane of our society. They not only undermine a lot of the new ideas coming up, like some things like gay marriage or just like topics like that. We're not going to get political about it, but I think old people oppose a lot of the new ideas coming in, and I think that's very narrow-minded to society. Not to mention, I've been sticking with the same path that the car should always swerve. So, spoiler, I'm gonna pick this one. But listen, I know not all old people are bad. I understand that. Trust me, I get that. I have lots of old people in my life who I like very much, who I would not want to die. However, sometimes it just has to happen. There's a lot more potential on the left, not to mention, again, I think the car should swerve, but even if the car was swerving into the group of younger people, I'd probably reverse my decision for this one. I think the old people probably should go before these young people do. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Listen, I worked fast food for like 5 years, bro. I hate old people. I'll say it. I was gonna be nice and sugarcoat it, but I hate old people. If you've worked in fast food for a long period of time, you'll understand what I mean when I say that, but fuck old people. Anyways, we'll move on to the next one. I don't want to harp on that too much. But in this case, should the car swerve, hit the barrier, killing the 2 women in the car, or should it go straight, killing the 2 female athletes on the crosswalk? I'm going with it again. You probably could have guessed this. The car's going to swerve into the barrier. Sorry for the females inside. May you rest in peace. Salute to you. All right, next one here. Should the car go straight, killing 1 female athlete, 2 male athletes, 1 woman, and 1 man? Note that the affected pedestrians are abiding by the law by crossing on the green signal. This is true. And then on the other side, it's 1 woman, 2 large men, 1 man, 1 large woman. Large doesn't really mean much to me. I'm gonna be real honest here. I don't really understand too much why they would put that part in. Doesn't make sense to me, at least. But that's besides the point. You already know I'm gonna pick swerve into the barrier, not only because I just think that's what the car should do. The note here is very helpful as well, that the fact that these people aren't doing anything wrong. They're crossing on a green light. It's not their fault that something happened with the car. They don't deserve to die for something like that. I mean, granted, neither do the people in the car because it's a self-driving car, but they deserve it a little bit more in my mind than the people on the crosswalk. So I'm going to go with that. Got a couple left here. So we'll go with this one first. Should the car swerve, killing a female athlete, a woman, and a female executive? Or should it go straight, killing a male athlete, a man, and a male executive? You know what? You know I'm going to pick the swerve option. However, I'm going to throw a curveball in because I think I've been picking the swerve option too much. And I've been pressing that fact home a little bit too much. And honestly, it'd be a little bit more funny to kill the dudes. So fuck the men. Of course, that one doesn't really matter either way. But the last final question here we got is, should the car go forward, killing the cat, a baby, a male doctor, a girl, and a dog? So two young people, 2 animals, and a doctor. Or should it swerve and kill a cat, a baby, a male doctor, and a girl? So basically the only difference is the straight path also has a dog. So not only am I gonna pick the swerve path because I think that's what the car should do every time, but listen, it's just less death on the right. I think it just makes more sense to kill less things, even if the thing is a dog and it doesn't, like, no offense to the dog, but like at the end of the day, it doesn't make too much of a difference. Like, you're gonna be just as sad if that group of people on the right die as the group of people on the left die. It doesn't matter. It's still gonna be just as sad. But the dog gets to live at least, so I gotta pick this one, and that's it. So that's actually so fucked up that this is my results. My most saved character is the criminal, and my most killed character is the fucking dog, bro. Are you kidding me? To be fair, I think the way I said things and the way I rationalized things makes sense. I just don't. I think I was on the opposite spectrum as a lot of people. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't make sense. Maybe it only makes sense to me. Maybe I just wasn't thinking about an aspect that a lot of other people were thinking about, but we'll go through it. Saving more lives. Some people said saving more lives doesn't matter. I think saving more lives is way more important, so it makes sense that I'm all the way on the right, but others were about here, so not too far off. Protecting passengers of a car. Other people cared about that a lot more than me, or they were like pretty middle ground. I thought it didn't matter. Protecting the passengers or the pedestrians, I guess, yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. Upholding the law, I think there was only like 2 questions where it was even relevant. So sure, I think it matters a decent amount. Others are about here. To be honest, I don't think upholding the law matters too much. Like I said, there's only a couple questions with stoplights even involved. The only reason I answered there wasn't because of the stoplights like by themselves. So I actually would put myself more here, but there's only a couple questions about it, so I understand why I'm over here. Avoiding intervention. Yeah, I think that's about right. Some people, intervention means like should you swerve or not. Other people, it matters a lot just to not intervene. That's why they're over here, but I think it matters more, so that makes sense. Gender preference. I think this one's a little biased because I made the joke at the end, but I actually matched up with the others pretty much perfectly. So yeah, fuck the males, bro. Keep the females alive. They're saving us anyway. So it doesn't actually matter in most of the questions, but I just think that's funny. Special preference, humans or pets? I don't know why they put humans like that. That's funny though. Yeah, I think most people would prefer saving the humans over the pets. It's not that we don't like them, you know? We all love our pets. It's just the value of people is worth more in my mind. I'm a little more extreme than others, but I see that. Age preference, yeah, I for sure. You heard my spiel. You heard the speech. Fuck old people. I'm here for the young generation. I'm here for the young people. Fuck old people. Fit people or large people. I said this earlier too. I didn't really get that. It doesn't matter to me at all. I think I just happen to go fit people more often just because of the scenarios, but I really never factored in the fact that people were fit or large into that. It doesn't really make sense to me. I don't think it makes a difference at all. I think they're just people. I just happen to think I randomly ended up with this kind of result, but to me this one doesn't matter literally at all. Social value preference, the last one here. Yeah, I was directly in the middle. Other people were a little bit more towards like higher social value, but to me I don't think that really matters much in these scenarios because you can't really tell people's social value like from the perspective of a self-driving car. So I don't think answering it in that kind of sense matters much. Either way though, guys, those are my results for this test. That was literally a whole lot of fun. I haven't done a morality test since I was like in high school, so it's been a long time, but that was a whole lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications for when I post more content just like this. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later if you don't enjoy the content anymore. Either way, guys, I appreciate you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.